What's up, everybody? Dave Bartosiak here for another one of Dave's Daily Dives, where I dig through a bunch of the very important market charts for you, so the broad market averages, but then I also look at some commodities. Sometimes I'll look at some currencies, and then at the end I give you 5 Zacks Rank #1 strong buy stocks that are breaking out to new highs. Lots of big names there, so you're going to want to stick around to the end for that. But first, why don't we kick things off with crude oil. Crude has this downward trend channel that it's been in since February pretty much. I'd argue the bottom end of this channel is here. You got sort of these couple of rope-a-dopes, also known as stop finders, here at the bottom, or stop grabbers rather. And then yesterday's price action took it up above $50. But what we were looking for today was follow through from that level. And it hasn't quite happened. Oil's down here at 49 right now, so we're still waging this war here at this trend, at the top of this trend channel, trying to figure out what's going to happen. So one of two things will happen. Either we can say that we've officially broken this trend channel and oil will go to the upside, challenging the 52s, potentially even higher, or it fails. And if it fails, then you can put the lows, bottom of this trend channel, all the way down at 42 as your next target on crude. So should it break to the upside, I think it should be adding, obviously, some oil stocks to your portfolio. Hopefully lean on the Zacks Rank, find some Zacks Rank #1 strong buys, and then I can have a different video here. All I'm doing is giving you oil stock ideas. But for right now, keep an eye on oil prices in between this sort of 49 to 50.5 level. If it breaks down below or above those levels, and it could happen any day, then it's an actionable event. Now, taking a look at the S&P 500, the broad market index here, we're still working off this fib that I drew from May through June, the retracement to the 50-day, and then the push higher. We've still got this extension target, 24.92, that it has not been hit. So keep an eye there. And then the June highs of 24.54 are a couple of levels that you should look for. And that's right, we're rocking out with the music here. I hope you guys can hear it in the background a little bit. I wanted to spice things up a little bit on the video here. And again, May to June, same thing on the NASDAQ, where we can draw our retracement levels and you see where the bids came in, and then the push higher, and the NASDAQ composite here stalled out just shy of the 38.2% extension of this move, so that's pretty astounding. And if you notice, the lows here that have been bought are very close to the highs of June. So they've come in, they supported those levels. Should this continue, I expect the NASDAQ to break on through to new highs and the rally to keep on keeping on. So that's basically crude, where we're at on the S&P 500, and some key NASDAQ levels to look at. So now let's look at a few of these stock ideas that we have. So it's Kraton. They do polymers, engineered polymers and things like that throughout the world. Again, these are all Zacks Rank #1 strong buy stocks, so you know they have positive EPS estimate revisions to the upside. Here we can see a nice little rally from February, stalls out, dips below this 50-day moving average. Commodity Channel Index gets oversold on a couple of occasions, but eventually breaks through the zero line, coincides with this leapfrogging that 50-day moving average, and now it's extended to new highs. So that's a nice little trade there, I think. You've got this level, this sort of 30, just 35, 75-ish level that could provide a nice little floor. So if you want to chase this breakout, you can put your stops south of that level, have a nice little risk versus reward there for you. That's Kraton, ticker KRA. Then we've got C-Trip International. So it's a basically a travel company in China. And these guys have been on a heck of a run. Supported the 50-day earlier in the year, in April also, more in June, and then it really came under pressure with the rest of the NASDAQ to come under the 50-day for a few trading sessions, but caught a bid and now is at all-time highs. Again, similar scenario. You can use these June highs as a stop loss. Given the fact that intraday this has come down and kind of dipped the wick down into that territory, I think I'd be more comfortable using the 50-day or waiting for a retrace to the 50-day even to go ahead and add a new position of C-Trip. The good thing here, if you look at the money flows, these have been positive since May, showing you that there's likely been some institutional accumulation of C-Trip. That's ticker CTRP. Then we've got Solar Edge. This is something I talked about in my Zacks Confidential yesterday. Solar's been pretty hot here recently, and you can see the move again, finding support at the 50-day, and then now it's in a nice, wonderful positive trend channel here to the upside. We've got another scenario where we can use these June highs as that stop loss. You can park yourself down around here, or here's a gap up on earnings. If you wanted to get all the way down below that 50-day moving average, you could do that, but that's adding a little bit more risk than you may want to take, somewhere close to 15%. So you may not want to do that. You may want to keep it a little bit tighter there. So that is, again, Zacks Rank #1 strong buy, Solar Edge, SEDG. Then one of my favorites from Home Run Investor, it's Tall Education Group. So these guys do K through 12 after school tutoring in China. Huge growth story here. The numbers are phenomenal. But here, just from a technical perspective, you can see a lot of support at the 50-day moving average throughout the month of June. And then now they've caught their second wind or their third wind or their 10th wind. I've lost count of which number wind it is. Either way, this thing is screaming higher. You have a decent continuation pattern here that's developed on the commodity channel index with it getting overbought, coming down close to the zero line and then extending again. This thing could have plenty of fuel to continue pushing higher, especially given the behavior it had at the 50-day moving average previously. So that is Zacks Rank #1 strong buy, Tall Education Group, TAL. There's a huge China theme here. And the last one I'm going to show you is an ADR, Tencent Holdings. They do internet value-added services, online advertising, mostly in China there. They also do mobile games, online games, things like that. Since leapfrogging the 50-day moving average to start the year, only one retest of that level. That came back at the beginning of this last month. Now the 50 days down at 36.06. This is that nice, smooth bottom left to top right trajectory here. I think this is something you could either wait for a little bit of a pullback. This is going to be a lot more gappy given that it's an ADR and it doesn't quite have the volume as some of the other stocks that you're going to see. But real solid play in with the 50-day down at 36. You can give yourself a little bit of cushion there should you decide to go long. That's Tencent Holdings. The ticker here, TCEHY. And as for me, you can check me out on Twitter, Bartosiastics, BARTOSIASTICS. Or, of course, you can check me out here on Zacks.com as the editor of the Momentum Trader and Home Run Investor. So thanks for hanging out with me here on Dave's Daily Dive. See you all very soon.